In total, Youngkin vetoed 158 bills from this past session, saying in a statement those he did, he believed would take Virginia backwards and raise the cost of living, hurt job growth, and make communities less safe. But Democratic State Senator Scott Survell says the vetoes are disappointing, and much of what they passed was focused on affordability.
And the governor basically stuck a finger in the eye of every working Virginian with the vetoes he took yesterday.
Unemployment, he vetoed increasing the minimum wage to $15, paid family medical leave, and a bill that would have allowed all public sector employees to collectively bargain. In his veto explanation, Youngkin says the latter would threaten funding and delivery of state and local services and cost taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars a year without a funding mechanism to account for this.
These are just common sense policies that allow our workforce to remain competitive, especially in an environment right now where the governor's allies are slamming the Virginia economy over the head with a sledgehammer.
On guns, Youngkin vetoes include barring people convicted of a hate crime of owning a gun, a 5-day waiting period to buy a firearm, and a ban on the sale of assault weapons. On the last one, Youngkin says, while troubled by mass shootings, Virginia has some of the strictest gun laws in the country, and the focus should be on strengthening penalties and increasing behavioral health funding.
I mean, these are weapons that are used in war. They're not used. They're not needed. They're not needed for, home defense.
In other areas, Youngkin also vetoed legislation to create a prescription drug affordability board and a retail marijuana market, and a bill to allow localities to have a sales tax to help with school construction if approved by a referendum, all bills he vetoed last year as well. And while not as many vetoes as last year, according to data from the Virginia Public Access Project, it does bring Youngkin's record veto total to 400 through his term. The next closest is former Democratic Governor Terry McAuliffe with 120.
It's not conducive to finding compromise and getting good policy outcomes.
And Youngkin vetoed several bills around elections, including one that would stop changes to the voter rolls within 90 days of an election, an issue that went all the way to the Supreme Court ahead of last November. At the state capitol, Cameron Thompson, CBS 6 News.